Visiting with Kelson Dirk. Congratulations, Kelson. State champion. How's it feel?
Feels good. It's good to see that all the hard work's paying off and something physically to actually show that it's working.
Back at the beginning of the year, what were your expectations going in?
My expectations were to wrestle to the best of my ability and go out and try to do my job the best I can. And I think I did that pretty well this season.
Kind of sailed through the state tournament. Tell us about some of the matches there.
First 3 rounds, I got a pin in the first period, and then finals, I was expecting a battle, and my opponent was a little injured, and then I just went out and scored a lot of points, and I got the tech in the second period.
Any nerves?
Not really. I've wrestled more than I've done anything else in life, so I wasn't really too nervous on it.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, we're visiting with Tyler Baldwin. Congratulations. How's it feel to be a state champion?
Feels pretty good. I'm very thankful for my family and stuff like that. Just feels great. Been working very hard for it.
You mentioned your family. Talk about your family and others, coaches who kind of helped you along the way and bring you to this point.
Definitely my coach Bryce, Abel, Kez, and then they helped me with a lot of stuff in practice and stuff like that. And they're just step by step with me. And my dad, he was there for me, cheering me on with my mom and my brother, and yeah.
How old were you when you started wrestling?
I was about 5 years old. I started wrestling after I got adopted, and I liked it a lot. My first tournament, I didn't win. I didn't even place. And there's this guy named Travis that my dad took me to, and we practiced probably 5 times a week and just working really hard and just staying on top of things and stuff. Yeah, pretty much just like that.
Take us through this season from the start and leading up to the state tournament.
I felt pretty good coming in the season, wrestling in Mandan. I got first, and I just felt pretty good. And then a couple other tournaments I was winning, and I was pretty nervous coming into the Rapid City invite because Pierce, he's the defending state champ from last year, and I didn't know if I could beat him, but I felt like I could and kept myself strong and went out there, beat him 4-0, and then that really flipped the switch in me, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to beat him every time now. And we had a duel against them, and then he beat me. That was my only loss for the season, and then I just had to put that one in my pocket and just keep walking. And I wrestled him at Regions and beat him, 9-7, and then state was pretty good. I won it.
Yeah, let's talk about that state tournament.
Went in there feeling very good, thinking I was going to win it and beat all these kids. And first match, I pinned my kid, and then second match, pinned my kid again, and then semifinals. There's a kid I've already beat. I beat him 10-1, and then finals, I kind of dominated, won 14-3.
What's it like being in that podium, state champ?
Feels very good. Never really felt that way, like ever. Just feels amazing.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Visiting with Cade Willnerd here at Sturgis High School. Just returned from the state wrestling tournament. You got 5th. How's it feel to be on that podium?
Feels pretty good, you know. Going into the season, that was kind of my goal to place at state, and felt pretty good to finally get on the podium.
So all season long, you kind of had that goal in mind?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just had that goal in mind, and then obviously try and win it as a team as well. So,
take us through that season. What were some of your high points?
Definitely, I would say winning the Hedinger tournament, and then as well as winning the Belfusha invite. A lot of ups and downs, as you know, in the wrestling season, but definitely those 2 tournaments right there.
Take us through that state tournament.
Oh yeah. So first day, won my first match, majored the guy, and then lost my second match. Going on the backside the second day, had to win a close one to place, won that one 2-0, and then won another one to get in the consolation semifinals. And then on the final day, ended up going for 5th and 6th and got a pin in my 5th and 6th place match.
How'd you get that pin?
So I chin dropped him to his back, and then I pinned him from there. So, yeah, it was good last match, end up on top and win. So
Yeah, winning feels great, right?
yeah, oh yeah, it felt good. It felt really good.
All right, congratulations.
All right, thank you.
All right, visiting Brooklyn Baird, you ended up on the podium at the state tournament. Talk about that tournament.
You know, I just kind of went out there and did what I could, did my best. Like, there's definitely things I could have done better, but just kind of going out there and having fun and, like, supporting my team, and we did really good as a team, I think, especially for the boys, so.
Brooklyn, take us back toward the beginning of the season. What were your expectations, and talk about some of the high points?
I really wanted to get, like, we were able to get almost an entire full girls team this year, and that was really exciting because we went from having 5 girls to having almost an entire team. We were only missing 2 weight classes, so we were definitely able to do a lot more as a team and just grow as a women's team, which was really nice.
How long have you been wrestling? When did you start?
I started wrestling in 1st grade, so I was about 7, so it's been about 10 years now. And I joined the high school team as an 8th grader.
You know, Brooklyn, it's been 5 years now since South Dakota's had high school wrestling for girls. And take us back to your feelings when that started and how you've been doing.
It's definitely just been picking up because when I first started wrestling, I was I was the only girl on my team for a really long time until Cadence ended up joining when she was really little, Cadence Hand. So just being able to see it pick up and having actual like competition and just being able to like see the sport really take off was really awesome, and getting that sanctioned really helped get that to take off.
Brooklyn, this was your 4th time at the state tournament. Talk about the tournament this year and take us through your matches.
My first match went pretty well. My second match was kind of I wouldn't say an upset, but I was losing quite a bit until the 3rd period until I pinned her. So that was really good. My 3rd match was a little rough, and my 4th match was really close, and then I ended up getting a forfeit for my 5th match. So I ended up not getting to like actually wrestle for 5th place, but it happens. It's okay. My opponent had gotten injured in a previous match, so I wasn't able to wrestle with her.
For younger girls watching this video, what would you tell them about wrestling?
Honestly, just go out there and try your best. Hard work is going to beat like talent almost all the time. Like, if you're willing to go out there and just try your best and like put in genuine effort, that will like the talent and skill comes from there. You can't build talent and skill unless you're willing to really put in like the effort that needs to be had.
Okay. All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, we're visiting with Mason Hagen. Congratulations on 2nd place at the state tournament.
Thank you.
Talk about the season as a whole from when you started.
I came in as an 8th grader this year and didn't know what to expect on the season or a whole lot that would happen, how I'd do. I started off all right, a decent start, and I just kept making improvements, and it paid off in the state tournament. So,
Throughout the season, what were some of your high points?
one of the biggest things I had was my semis match at the state tournament. I'd wrestled that kid 4 times before, and he'd beat me every time. So I'd kept closing the gap on him. So when I beat him, it was really big for me.
How old were you when you started wrestling?
I started when I was about 5, I think. So I think I started in kindergarten.
Talk about family, friends, and coaches who kind of helped you along the way to bring you to this point.
Yeah, my family has been a huge part there, always there to support me. I think we had a lot of people there for the state tournament, especially my mom. She does whatever she can to help and everything like that. And then getting in the room, we have amazing coaches. With Bryce, he's always working with me. And
What are your feelings from that state tournament, not getting on top of the podium, but 2nd place?
it's kind of a bummer, but I had wrestled that kid a month ago, and he'd almost teched me, so it was cool to get the match up to just 1 point. So I'm happy with how I did, especially as an 8th grader.
Going to keep on wrestling throughout your high school career?
It's the plan. We're going to keep going, working hard.
So you got about 4 state titles coming up?
We're going to try.
Okay. All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're visiting with Annalee Pierson at Sturgis High School. Finished 2nd at the state tournament. Way to go.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really fun. It was the girl I actually wrestled against had pinned me in the 1st period earlier that year, and we had a 6-5 match, so I was pretty happy with that, but it's hard getting all the way there. And then
How long have you been wrestling? When did you start?
I just finished my 3rd year. I started 6th grade. Yeah. This was my 2nd year of high school, so yeah.
Take us back to the beginning of this season. What were some of your high points?
Where do we start? We went to the girls' team went up in Custer. I ended up winning that tournament. I actually ended up wrestling against one of the top girls in my bracket, and we had a really close match, and I ended up winning that tournament. A lot of the duels we had here were a lot of fun. Duels are always really fun here with like the energy and the student section and all of that, but I didn't have a whole bunch of super hard matches until the state tournament. So,
Talk about your family, friends, coaches who kind of helped you along the way.
well, my dad is actually, he's one of our coaches this year, but he's actually the one who got me into wrestling. I've been around it since I was really little, but I didn't actually get into it until my dad wanted me to try it middle school year. But all the coaches, all of my family, my grandparents, my mom, my siblings, these coaches are all really supportive. The team is like a whole family. Everyone's just really supportive. The school, like the teachers at the middle school, the staff members, everyone's just really supportive of everyone.
Okay, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, Coach, at the beginning of the season, we asked you if you could repeat what you did last year. Dual title and the individual state title. You did it again.
Yeah, going back to back was not something that we really thought about until about halfway through the season that it might be something that's attainable. We placed 12 kids last year at the state tournament, and we graduated 8 of those. And to replace 8, kids in your lineup is crazy. And some of the kids that filled in, young, never been in the lineup, had been really good JV kids for us. It was just something that, we didn't think was going to be, in our future. And when we looked at the season from last year to this year, it was, okay, let's stay in the top 3. That was the goal. And as time went on and we won Mandan and we won the Rapid Invite, we just kind of started scratching our heads as like, I think we're pretty solid. And it turned into the same situation we had last year where we have some really good kids, but our depth overall, we just had a bunch of kids that were willing to compete at a high level, that didn't lose very many matches and were working their tails off in the room and getting better every week. And we just kept making little gains each, tournament, duel, whatever it was. And all of a sudden at the end of the year, we were back in the state duel tournament as the #1 seed, and then win the region tournament, won the state tournament. And it was just something that, you look back and it kind of puzzles you of like, how did we put 8 new faces in our lineup and do it again? But it just speaks to the depth in this room, the never satisfied motto, how many bodies, we have strength in numbers. We had probably 70 kids in our room at the beginning of the year fighting for spots. When we had wrestle-offs in the gym 3 months ago, there was multiple weights that had, mini brackets to see who won. So that competition within the room breeds success, and then it turns into, what happened the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, success breeds success. And coming off last year, it's why you did it again.
Yeah, 100%. And I think once the team figured out, the formula, you don't need a bunch of state champs. We put 4 guys in the finals this year, and I feel like we probably should have had more in there. The semifinal round wasn't our best round of the state tournament, but our kids, battle back on the backside. But it's not about creating a bunch of kids that are state champs. It's creating, in 14 weight classes, that depth of a bunch of just competitive kids. Whether dual atmosphere, it's kids knowing their jobs. I'm not going to get pinned. If I'm supposed to win, I'm going to go win. If I'm supposed to get bonus points, I'm going to go get bonus points. And that's where your hammers come in, getting your pins and stuff like that. But so much of our success comes from when we go to like the state dual tournament this year compared to last year. 8 new faces in the lineup. We lost less matches at the duels this year than we did last year. And a team like Aberdeen only really lost 1 kid, and that was the team that beat us last year in the regular season. And so for us to do what we did, beat them technically by more, was just, mind-blowing. And it, like I said, it speaks to, our coaching staff, obviously the time they put in, but the time these kids put in and the levels that they are willing to or they are able to jump in this room.
You mentioned your staff. I know in the past you've said you'd put them up against any team.
Yeah, 100%. Our staff, we have 6 coaches. You know, John Pierson came in this year, took over the girls program, but Steve Kessler's been here for multiple decades. Jason Schlichtmeyer, same thing. Bryce Lenhart's a big key for us because he's a small guy. He's been here, I think, 4 years. He works with all our 106 to about 138, 144, one-on-one. He's wrestling every day in the room. Rance Sievertson, a former state champ of mine when I coached in Spearfish, he works from about that 144 all the way up to about 190 in the room. And then, you know, the big guys, sometimes I wrestle around with those guys, or, you know, we're trying to find somebody to come in and wrestle with those guys because Tice is huge. But yeah, I mean, that coaching staff being one-on-one with, you know, Bryce, Rance, Steve, Jason, John, myself, it's second to none, you know, and the kids, they know how lucky they are, but we, you know, kind of have to remind them sometimes of, like, our staff, you know, we put in a lot of time with these kids during practice, after practice, mornings, at tournaments, and it shows. And, you know, they performed well over the last 3 weeks, state duels, regions, and state individual. And, you know, they're proud. We're proud of them. But, you know, I think the coaches are also proud of, you know, the work they put into them.
And again, really special to be the best in the state.
Yeah, you know, going back to back, you know, knowing that you are the best. Sometimes I wish we had one class because there's always the debate of, you know, Canton's won 7 or 8 in a row, and people talk about what if, and I think it'd be fun if somehow we ever went to a one-class system, or we were able to duel, you know, the Class A champ versus the Class B champ, whether it's us or not. Just I think that would be a big draw for crowds, or for the, you know, the spectators, but I don't think that'll ever happen. But it's pretty special. You know, these don't come every year. You know, you don't want to take it for granted. We try not to over-celebrate things. We always talk about how, you know, act like it was supposed to happen mentality. But it's pretty special. And we return a lot of kids from this year to next year. And, you know, we'll see, you know, what we can do next year with the kids that we do get back, and maybe make another run at this thing.
Again, congratulations, Coach, on a great season.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your guys' coverage, your time, coming in to talk to these kids and coaches and everything you guys do.